Hello, everyone. Welcome to Baby That's Cont. This week, we are recapping The Traitors, Season 4, Episode 6. I am Kip.
And I'm Joseph, and let's get into it.
Okay, so previous episode ended with the Traitors deciding they were going to murder Colton, but they didn't know if they had a shield to block it. So this episode opens at breakfast, like right away. Moira walks in with Kristen and Rob. And salmon alert, they've added a second plate of smoked salmon.
A second plate of salmon has hit the building.
They're trying to beat the Peacock has no money allegations.
I mean, it's the least they could do.
Certainly cost them less than having a real prize pot. Rob is wearing a very demure, very buttoned up, full long sleeve flannel. And like he looks handsome, but it's a marked departure from like getting to look at his body.
Yes, but it is an improvement upon the overalls to me.
I'll agree with that. It's giving hot and wholesome. Okay. So then we cut to Lisa in confessional. She says she knows her name is being mentioned. She needs to sprinkle a little bit more housewifery in, but she knows she can't go too crazy or it's going to be suspicious.
Yes, she is in trouble boots.
Absolutely. So we see a couple other confessionals, right? Ron feels like he has a little bit of a second chance now that he has survived again. Johnny comments that the game is getting harder as he feels like he likes people a bit more. And so everyone trickles in, and it is revealed that there's no murder. Nobody took a shield, so therefore everyone was safe. And then we start to see a little bit of Lisa stepping it up. She gets up and she screams, "No murder!"
She's doing something. What did you think of Johnny's outfit?
I'm trying to remember what it was. I watched this episode twice, but it's a long episode and they wear a lot of different things.
He was wearing like a black flowy pant with like a sheer black flowy top, and then like I don't even know what you call it. It's like a skull cap, a black skull cap with like a flapper hat with like beads coming
Oh,
down the
yeah.
side.
I know. I'm just picturing, oh my God, Madonna wore something similar once in one of her concerts. And as she goes, "I am wearing my French ballet." It's so funny. And that's all I could think of.
I mean, that's probably the reference.
Yeah.
It just
I
it was so out there. I don't have the words to tell you what it is.
Yeah, I didn't love it. I'm not loving Johnny's fashion this season, but it's not terrible. I'm just not loving it.
He swings big, but they don't usually land, is where I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, it just feels like he's still wearing ice skating costumes and hasn't quite made the transition to like on land couture.
Okay, but what about Colton's outfit? Because I have some things to say.
Okay, you go first.
Okay, I feel like it's a direct reference to Britney Spears' Justin Timberlake all denim outfits, which in a post Britney Spears biography, we now know that whole entire situation's canceled. I can't believe he wore that.
That's really funny. I don't remember it. We're in a funny switch up here where normally you take the like whatever notes and I focus more on these details. And this time I was so focused on like keeping track of what was happening that I don't have like fashion commentary.
Wow. What are you even watching for? Okay, but you also didn't clock Mara's outfit?
She was in the green one.
Yes.
Oh, that was a
Very C
sleigh. That
word.
one, that one made its way into my brain for sure.
Yes. She was giving sailor because that was C word.
That's
Think about
hilarious.
that one.
I am having a hard time. Okay, this episode there were several like accent changes or accent notices. So Moira's didn't change. However, she's still. I can't tell if that's just how she talks or if she's playing into it. It's just like she will not say the th sound. Like she just insists on saying kinks, but it's getting more and
Yeah.
more like as if as if an H never existed in the word.
I think you're right.
Thank you. Oh my god. Whenever I tried to do her accent the other episode, my husband listened and he goes, "You sounded like you were doing Jamaican."
Oh, that's what I just thought when I just did it right now.
It's really hard. It's really hard. We're
I
not
didn't
professional
realize
actresses.
that's true. I didn't realize there was a crossover there.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, let's see Lisa Rinna do an Irish accent. Let's see how that goes for the professional actress.
Fair. I would like to see.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so there was that one. And then did you notice like later on, Rob, like he's not like really had a southern accent the whole season, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, he was like turning on the South this episode.
I didn't was not clocking to me personally. However, I am not the one looking into his every little detail.
Well, I am. I'll mention it when it comes up later. Um, okay. So then it kind of flashes back to the turret, right? And we see them, they're being so funny up there. They're obviously like bored because they already decided they wanted to murder Colton, and I guess Alan wasn't ready to come in. So Candace is just like staring up at the turret, and she goes, "Can we murder traitor gods?" And Alan finally walks in. Rob is so funny because Candace and Lisa are clocking that it's like a show and they're supposed to act like, "Oh, he's here." And Rob goes,
Yeah.
"How's it going? How's it going?"
Sup, dude.
It's so funny. Um, so they knew last night that they weren't able to murder. And so Colton is their main target still.
Yeah.
And you really did you see so Lisa then says, "I want to slit his throat," about Colton. Did you see what I was talking about the previous few episodes in that?
In with regard to what?
How Lisa Rinna is.
Yeah, but that just feels like silly fake to me.
Okay.
Like you said, like playing up for the TV.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
I mean, it's hard because her whole everything is such like a character, like farcical situation. I don't know what's the real, what's not.
Yes. Yes. No,
I
fair
do
enough. And
think
neither do I.
though. So when Alan comes in, it's very much a what you see isn't always the truth situation, as we'll find out later.
Yes. Indeed. Um Alan, okay, so he also mentions that there's going to be like crypts for the mission. And Candace goes, "Ooh, that sounds like it's going to be an indoor mission." I love
She's
that for
on
me.
it.
She was absolutely right. That was a
And did
highlight for
she love
me.
it?
Well, no, but probably better than being outside.
It was a really fun mission, which we'll get to, but
I know the breakfast scene was very long
there was a
because it's
lot of
like,
like interpersonal drama this episode.
I know. And it makes it hard because it doesn't follow the standard format. Because like Alan comes in and then he leaves, and normally that's the end of it. But then, like, a lot more stuff happens. So, Colton is seated next to Dorinda, and he starts talking to Dorinda more about Lisa. Because last episode, Dorinda had acknowledged that Lisa's not acting how she normally does.
Yeah.
I think it's so interesting though, because like this is something to think about too as you apply for the show. You're with these people all day and a lot of the night for days and days at a time. So it just is really hard to be on the way that, like, you know, if you're a real housewife, you go and film an hour or maybe 3 hour scene or whatever. But like, you know, it's just easier to be on there versus here you're supposed to be on all the time. So it makes sense we're going to see some personality differences.
Yeah. I mean, I do feel like Dorinda knows because she's not like really playing with Rob. Like, I feel like she's just trying to ride the Lisa train to the finale. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's what you kind of have to do if you might think your friend's a traitor. It's like you have to just play with them, and you know that they'll
Yeah.
keep you till the end.
Yeah, I agree. And like to the previous conversation around motivation, Dorinda just wants to be on TV as much as possible. So she is trying to do exactly nothing to get attention on her from a suspicion standpoint.
Yeah, I feel like Colton is really just playing the game wrong from all fronts at this point.
I agree, but I do respect him for playing it.
It's just like you can't try to get their like strongest ally against them. I don't see how that works.
Yes, agreed.
So we also see
Um,
Johnny trying to gather the troops.
Yeah, I guess that was the biggest difference here is normally like Alan comes in, announces the mission, and they go straight to the mission. This time the mission was later in the day. So they like break for breakfast and now they're just like in the castle.
I feel like that happens every episode.
I don't feel that way, but who can never be sure?
Well, let us know in the comments.
Okay. Um yeah, so Johnny is trying to rally the troops to your point. He points out that like if they can get 8 faithfuls together, they can run the round table.
8 is a
Mark is
lot of
in
people.
I know. I know. Also, like 8 faithfuls, it's like, well, no, you need 8 players.
Yeah. You really only need like 6, I feel like, because it's like once you get enough people, then the other people don't want to look like stand out and then they just fall in line.
Right. Well, also now that we're further in the game, there's several people who are suspicious. So it's 8 and 7 if it's split 2 ways, but if it's split 3 ways, yeah, you need 6.
Yeah. I like that he's trying to do something, but I'm nervous it's gonna like backfire for him.
Yeah. No, I agree.
It's too early.
Um yeah. And then, well, so Mark is logical, and he points out that like of the people left, like the people who have really taken control and like changed the game are Ron and Colton. Um, and that was like what was interesting about this episode too was like because there was no murder last night and they don't know anything about it. There's no new like suspicions to go off of. It's all just based on like what has happened in the past. Um,
That's why, okay, I have a theory. Typically, the traders like keep the chaotic people around because it keeps the eye on them.
mhm.
I think it could be risky, but also smart to just murder those people because then every night they have to come with new names and it's gonna like pit everyone against each other.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, so besides, like, who are you thinking of besides Colton?
That the traitor should have murdered.
Yeah.
Like, I think they always murder the quiet person, but I think they should be murdering the loud person, like Michael, Colton, whoever is like even Ron. Like, you should murder the person that everyone is suspecting, and then they're forced to banish someone that's not on their radar, and it's just gonna like really stir the pot.
Yeah. I like that idea. I mean, I think the problem is getting everyone aligned, like getting the three traitors aligned, because right now killing Colton would be really bad for Lisa, but it'd be obviously fine for Rob and Candace.
Yeah. I just feel like maybe there's an alternative strategy, which is murdering the most logical people and trying to get the people that you can easily sway to stay and ride with you.
Yeah,
I feel like they don't
I
do
like
it
that
that
idea.
way.
Well, preview of Joseph's strategy coming
NBC?
your way.
Yeah, I feel like we
Um,
don't have the meta defined yet for this game, which I can talk
yeah,
more about later too, the roundtable.
yes, definitely. So the group of 8 that is trying to pull together is Johnny, Kristen, Tara, Mark, Steven, Candace, Eric, Moira, and Rob. Maybe that's 9. That is 9.
Well, there's
Funny that
like
it's
people that
2 out of
are
3
in and out of
traders.
it.
Yeah. Well, and we see later that, like, I don't even think this is a spoiler. Candace has been on Ron from day one, and everyone's talked about that. So, like, Candace is sort of included in the group and the conversation, but, like, a lot of people think she won't actually move off Ron because she's been on there from day one.
Which is a good alibi for her, I think.
I think so too. Um, so then Colton pulls Natalie aside to talk about Lisa, and it's just the two of them. He actually has a good strategy. So he's like putting her name here and there, and he asks her to tell a couple of people, and then see who pushes them away from Lisa and tries to defend her. And that would be a way to get some other traitor, at least suspicion, which I actually thought was like a really good idea.
It's kind of smart, but then as you see, Rob is just like, well, could be her.
I know. I know. Yeah, so then the housewives walk in. Colton starts being extra and really like coming for Lisa, saying, Lisa, I'm glad you're not wearing your sunglasses today. I can really look you in your eyes. Um,
And she says, what do you want to see? And he said, my future. I did enjoy that.
yeah, I thought that was funny too.
I feel like he's just being so cocky and obnoxious now. Like, he's turned into the new Michael in a
I
different way.
know. I know. In a way that's worse for queer people.
Yeah. It's like, so, did you see that article? Or there was a tweet. It was like, some queer voices should be silenced.
I did see that tweet. I also saw Colton gave an interview to some random magazine, maybe it was Entertainment Weekly or something. And after last week's episode, after the Michael thing, and they published right like at the top of the article, as part of Colton agreeing to do this interview, we were not allowed to ask questions about Cassie, his ex-girlfriend, the one that who got a restraining order on him.
That's funny.
I just feel like he needs a new PR team, or maybe to have made different choices in his life.
Well, a little of this, a little of that.
Yeah, one's easier than the other, isn't it?
Turns out.
Yes. So they finally head to the mission, and it's funny too because they don't normally show like they're giving Colton the bad edit for sure, which I'm loving. Normally they're just like in the cars going, but like they're walking out the door. Colton kind of like pushes ahead of someone, doesn't open the door for anyone. Um, and Rob's like, "You could sit in the front since you're so big and strong," and someone else is like, "You didn't hold the door for the ladies," or
That's funny. I did clock that.
yeah. So the car with Colton is Rob, Tara, and Dorinda. And Colton says, I really trust this car. Which I thought it was really funny. I just like, you're going 2 miles. Like, obviously you trust like the car, but then he meant like the people
The
in the car.
people. I thought he meant the car too. I was like, well, it is a Range Rover or
I
whatever.
know. It'll probably take you where you need to go.
Yeah.
Oh my God, so funny.
So then he tells
Um,
them he's on to Lisa.
yes.
And Rob says, it's plausible.
Yes. Um, and we go to confessional with Rob, where he says Colton is one of his strongest alliances. And given that, it won't look good if Colton's voted out or if Lisa's voted out
If
and
he
he
votes
defended her.
for
My notes.
Colton.
Yeah. I accidentally typed she's voted out instead of he's, and then I got confused with Lisa.
Well, I do think Rob's in a tough position, as we'll find out further on.
Yeah. It kind of
And I'm
snuck up on me.
unsure. I'm unsure if he makes the right choices, but only time will tell.
Yeah. I think he navigated it like decently well. I don't think it's not how I would have played, I don't think. But he is in a tough spot. And I do like that he's trying something different and he's trying to protect himself, take different strategies, and like I think he's trying to actually like make friends a little bit.
Yeah, which I do think is the best strategy, as I've said.
Yes, I agree with that. So the mission, um, they go to like the cabin that's been on previous seasons, and they receive cryptic clues which spell out or give them the name of someone who's buried in the graveyard. So there's a bunch of headstones with names on them, and you have to run to the guess headstone, lock in your answer, and if you're right, a hand reaches from the grave and hands you money. And if you're wrong, the hand reaches up from the correct grave, and then you run to it, and then they pull it away from
Snatch
you
it away.
before you can get it. There are two shields up for grabs, but two players run out each time to go get it, and there's two shields up for grabs, and both of those players have to agree to it.
Well,
I
could
think
one
it's.
person get it?
I don't think so. I think they have to be in alignment because we see later on Jam Jam and Moira are going out there and together, and Jam Jam really wants the shield, and Moira says no, and he doesn't get it. He has to go get the money with her.
Yeah, I
I
guess
think
that
that
makes
the two
sense.
players have to agree together to give up their money and choose the shield
Yeah.
instead.
Did you see when Jam Jam went to grab the money, he like touched the person's hand instead of
Yeah,
grabbing the money?
that's so funny.
Like, what
Do
are
you
we
think it was
doing
real
here?
people in there?
Yeah, I think so.
How do you think they breathe?
I don't know. Maybe they're dead.
There's a lot of jobs I'm not qualified for, and certainly one of them is like being buried and shoving my hand out with the dirt and having like an oxygen tube.
Oh, I think most people are qualified.
Maybe. Not me.
What did you think of the game? I thought it was fun to see them all screaming.
It was like one of the worst challenges, I would say, from an entertainment standpoint.
Yeah, I agree. Because there is not really like much to talk about or like, analyze. No real drama.
Yeah. The funny things that happen at the challenge is so the first ones out of the box is Candace and Tara. I'm just calling her Tara now. Because that's what Alan says, so it's like in my head. So Candace
I
and
think
Tara are
that's
the
right.
well, uh, Tar. Um, it's funny, like they agree that Candace and Tara will go first because they're freaked out by this cabin and they're screaming so much. So the other players are like, "Yeah, you go because we can't
Get the
like
fuck
think with
out.
this." Um, and they get it wrong.
It wasn't their fault, I will say.
It was like partially their fault.
It feels to me like they were told the wrong answer.
So they were told Louise, and there was a Clark and a Black, and they were just in such a hurry to get out that like the players were figuring out that it was Black, and but they just saw Louise. They thought it was Clark, and
Jam Jam said
was,
Clark, so we blame him.
yeah. But then the rest of them were all yelling, "It's Black! It's Black! Not Clark!"
Okay, but
So,
obviously, if they would have heard, then they wouldn't have messed up.
but I think they would have been more likely to hear if they could stop screaming.
I'm just saying justice for Tara.
I agree. And justice for Tar.
And it did give us a fun moment of when they tried to grab the money and it went away.
Yeah, that was really funny. um, that was really funny. I'm looking at my notes. Okay, I already mentioned that Jam Jam wanted a shield. Moira didn't and wouldn't let him. And Moira thinks that's traitor behavior.
Okay, well, that didn't sound Jamaican, so +1.
Great. We're working on it. Oh
Oh,
my god. And
also,
then the,
Natalie said at the start, like, if you take a shield, we're banishing you tonight.
yeah. I love her. I do feel like she's being so outspoken that like at some point it's gonna get her in trouble. But we'll see. I mean, she's obviously a very smart game player.
It seems like a lot of people like her, so
Yeah. She was a really good survivor player, and then she also after the game she got some good like acknowledgement and stuff in the press. Like she became even more respected after her season, I would say. So, um yeah. But I do think we'll see. There's a chance something backfires on her for sure.
right now she's the one I want to win.
I want a lot of them to win, to be honest.
Like who? Who's your tops?
Rob, Candace, Natalie, Kristen. I feel like those are my top four at this time.
I just don't feel like Kristen's gonna win. I would love if she did.
She is playing well though, and she's very well spoken.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad she's still there. That's my win for her.
I agree. I agree.
Okay.
And we have to acknowledge that Kristen liked our reel, the
Yes.
butter
And you
knife
know what?
thing.
There's a follow up in this episode.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay, okay. Okay, so then the only other thing from the challenge is that I thought was really funny is there was like a riddle you had to solve, which was like, this person is twice the age of that one, but 3 years different than that one. When they're this and that, who will be like younger? And I will say, I didn't like study the riddle. It wasn't immediately easy, but Lisa's like, cut to confessional, and she's like, there's you have to do this and that. I'm out. Like, no chance that she could even like consider figuring out something.
Yeah, that was funny.
um it makes me wonder like who else has confessionals saying dumb stuff that they're not like leaving.
I know. I will say, under pressure, it is hard to do simple stuff like that.
No, for sure.
Like when
For
I go to
sure.
an escape room, and NBC, don't listen to this. I think I am a very smart, competent gamer, riddle solver person. When you put me in that room, I panic. Like I can't
Well, that could
function.
make you great TV in a different way. NBC, if you betrayed his oath.
Oh, true.
Although not in a way you would like. You'd be great TV because you'd be looking dumb.
I okay. If I, it's like if I'm gonna be dumb, I'm gonna make fun content.
Absolutely. Which is really the whole concept of this podcast.
Yes.
Okay. So Lisa and Mark are sent out to the graveyard. Lisa runs around screaming at nothing. They cut to Alan and he goes, Lisa is screaming at nothing. And he was very much enjoying it. Um, they announced that nobody took a shield. They got all of them except for the one. And we head back to the castle where the traitors will have free reign to murder anyone they want tonight.
Yeah. Did you notice this? Like Colton is one of the last people. Do you think he was trying to be last to try to steal the shield?
I don't think so because you could only get it during your run, I think.
Yeah, but I don't. It's like we don't know if they knew that. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, then no, I didn't notice that.
I thought it would have been great if Alan would have like gave somebody the chance to steal it.
Yeah.
Like if there was one more round and then there was one last person left and nobody got to see,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
it just seems like they needed to tempt them harder, as
Right.
evidenced by no one taking it.
Yes. Um changing topics but staying on the game. Do you have you ever played Mafia in real life?
Only a few times.
Yeah, I haven't since like not much and it was a long, long time ago. But do you remember the position in the game called the Jester?
Yes, where you like, if they vote you, you win.
Yeah. I feel like they need to add that next season.
But then the season could be over in like one episode.
Well, they have to change it. They have to change it so that way the Jester is playing their own game, and if the Jester can get themselves voted out, then like they win $100,000 or something.
Like a
Um,
bonus or yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I think that would be a fun thing to add to the game
I agree. I've been thinking about how they could do that.
because like the Secret Traitor was a flop, but it was a nice concept. So this is like, yeah, something else they could add and try.
Yeah,
But wouldn't it be
agreed.
fun to know, like, okay, we have a secret trader, we have a jester, and we've got the regular traders? Like, that would make the game really spicy.
I think it would be fun if they add in like the doctor that can save someone each night or something like that. Because then you could
Oh,
really
yeah.
start making plays. Like Colton could really go in on Lisa, and the doctor could save him, and like he wouldn't die.
Oh, I didn't even know about the doctor, but that makes sense too.
Yeah, I think
I
they'll
liked it.
get there eventually.
I think that they just thought it was going to be too much to track on TV, and now that it's become so popular, I think they'll be willing to add in something else maybe next
Yeah.
season.
Well, last season they added something too, but it didn't really get used.
What was
So I
it?
don't remember what it was.
Me neither.
Well, maybe we'll see
Well,
this season.
yeah. Okay, so we're in the car on the way back to the castle. Rob says it's getting harder. He doesn't want to vote for Ron, and he likes him. Um, Ron pretty much really thinks he's going home, and he says he's sad to be leaving. And Rob says, "Don't be so sure. This game moves really quickly."
Yes, honey, you've got a big storm brewing.
Absolutely. So back at the castle, we're in the kitchen. Dorinda cuddles up to Rob, calls him her traitor's husband, which is devastating, of course. Um, Candace says that Moira loves him too. And Dorinda says she can't compete with that. Fair enough.
Well, yes.
um, and then Lisa, unprompted, tries to get people to talk about Ron and focus on Ron. Um, And this is where we first see Rob starting to pivot his game a little bit. So Rob starts defending Ron, says he's really looked him in the eye, asked him questions, seen his answers, and like really believes he's not lying. Um, and Candace is mad. She's like, Candace, what goes, Rob, what the fuck are you doing? Um, and Candace says, well, don't forget, Ron is an actor and he could be fooling us, which true, but that also is a shot against Lisa.
It's just like now after seeing him on Traitors, it's so clear he plays himself in everything he's in. So
I agree. I agree.
no offense, because I would love to do that.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
and also, I'm not a stand-up comedian, but like if I was there, I've seen enough of his TV shows to know that's how he is.
What else is he in?
He's in Loot, and then I feel like he's in was in something else, like a Parks and Rec or something like that, like small roles.
Yeah. I've seen Loot, but that's it. Oh, I didn't watch this most recent season yet, but I'm gonna.
It's on my list.
Yes. So then we flip over to Johnny. He's still really focused on Colton and says they have one shot to get him out. It's with that group of 9 I mentioned earlier. So they
Yeah.
agree that Candace won't flip on Ron. Mark has more on Ron than Colton, but obviously notes that Colton is suspicious. And then Rob has put his southern accent back on, and he says he doesn't want Colton or Ron out, which was kind of strange.
I think he's trying to play this character like simple guy who loves his bros.
Yeah, and his mom.
Yeah, what did he say? Mama raised me right or something like that.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
know.
oh my
No,
god, you're too old to be saying that.
I know. He certainly is. Um, so then the other thing that happens that was kind of intense. Did this surprise you? So Colton pulls Lisa aside, just the two of them. Um, and he tries to get her to admit to being a traitor and making a pact to go to the end together. He says, I want to win this game with you, which, if he really thinks he's a traitor and he is a faithful, it is not possible for them to win the game together.
Yeah, this surprised me insofar as it was stupid. Because, like, you cannot try to make this alliance with the traitor unless you already have, like, a rapport with them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
100%.
Like, Lisa and Dorinda, yes, perfect, works every time. Colton
Yes.
and Lisa, no, does not make any sense whatsoever, especially when he's already on the chopping block.
Yeah.
I guess maybe he doesn't know that, but like he has nothing to offer her.
Yeah.
He has no motion right now. Everyone's sus of him.
Yes. No, and Lisa has her guard up against Colton. Like, he's been going for
Because
her
she
for multiple
knows.
episodes. Yeah. And she is fully prepared when it's just the two of them to, like,
If I was
uh
Colton, what I would have done is said, like, I'll protect you at the table if you protect me at the turret, and then just leave. Like, how do you think she reacted?
I thought she did well. She certainly did better than I expected.
Yeah, I just like don't know what I would do. It's like I would expect her to get loud and be like, "Why are you accusing me like that?" But if it was me, I would have been like laughing, like, "Girl, it's not me." Like,
Yeah.
so I
I
don't
don't know what I
know.
would have done. I think I would have been like, what are you talking about? I would definitely have been like, I'm not having this conversation with you. I'm not a traitor and I don't trust you. And I would have just left the room.
Yeah, it's hard. I know because like when you're in that situation, you'll like freeze up most likely
Yeah.
because surely she wouldn't have expected that.
Not to that level. No. But she did hold her own, I thought. Like, it wasn't bad. I watched it twice.
She didn't reveal herself in any way, I think, but
Yeah.
it's just an interesting situation because I don't know that anybody's really said it out loud like that yet.
No, I agree. I agree. That I've never seen that before. Although I saw a tweet that made it sound like something similar had happened on a UK version, but I am not aware of that.
Yeah. It's like what he said he was going to do and what he did were different. He said he was going to hold the traitor hostage, which would have been more like, if you come for me, I'm going to go for you so hard. If you don't, I'll be quiet. Like that is more like holding her hostage. And he was like, let's
Yeah.
just be besties.
Yeah. I would say not all the pieces are in place.
Yeah. I think he just knows he's on his last leg and he's like trying anything.
Yeah. Well, he certainly like is desperate to like make headlines, so he's trying what he can. Um so we finally head to the round table and we're only like halfway through the episode, which is kind of crazy. Um
I know. Rob said, like, right before that, he goes, y'all ready for some round table? Thought that was funny.
That was funny. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
do
then
I do
they,
wonder what it's like in the castle. Like it must be there must be nothing to talk about sometimes.
I don't know. I feel like I'd be so anxious the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way the round table is fun for anyone.
No, no, no. Certainly not.
And if you look like you're having fun, then you're gonna get pegged.
Yeah. Okay. You a pega.
Yeah. So they get to the round table and nobody is talking. It's like dead silent. And
I
I was
know.
thinking, like, oh my God, is this going to be the first Traitors blindside where nobody says anything in the group of whatever, eight, nine, just all right, Colton? Like, that would be a gag.
That would be a gag.
We don't
Oh,
get that.
wow. Wait, I love that idea.
Or
Okay, they
imagine,
should
like, they
cast
all,
you.
yeah, thank you. There's so many
You
things that
finally
should play
convinced
out
me.
on the show that have not happened. Like, the show is called The Traitors, and Alan always talks about backstabbing. It's like you need to go in there with Colton having no idea anybody's going to vote for him. You talk about Ron, whatever, and then everybody writes Colton. Like, that's Emmy Award winning TV.
I agree. Say that.
So,
Okay,
Johnny,
host.
sorry, but I'm different.
Absolutely. Oh, the only thing I noted on the way to the round table is like they give Ron a little confessional and like he thinks he's going home and he just says like I just want to be the man that my kids will be proud of at this round table and leave them like a lasting impression or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I
I
thought
think
was
he
cute
did.
and sad.
Yeah. So he's the one who opens the round table. Like, y'all gotta say something.
Yeah. Um So Mark jumps in and is helpful. He says, like, we've been on you 4 times in a row. Um, can you explain yourself? Like, let's talk about like everything that's happened. Um, so he kind of recaps the different votes, right? The Portia thing, the Tiffany thing. Um, and he gives Ron a chance to defend himself. But Ron was ready. Um, so he starts walking through some things. Um, Dorinda jumps in and says like, "Well, the game is not all about like being nice and stuff or whatever." What did she
She
say?
says it's like a given that you'll work together and communicate. And Ron says, I fundamentally disagree with that.
Yes.
I need to know what happened because he says to her, I don't think we can interact in a way that remains respectful anymore. So, like, what
Yes.
happened?
That's what I have in my notes. Is like obviously there's stuff between them that they cut from the show and
Yeah, because he said,
it
fuck your family to her.
it can't have been good from Dorinda's end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's spicy. Um and then let me see here. Colton jumps in and Ron says, "Hey, Colton's gotten it wrong more than me, but because we didn't like Michael, it doesn't count the same. But
That
since
was
we love
good.
Portia, I'm suspicious. That's not fair." Oh my God, so good.
He was really getting them in on this episode.
Uh huh.
Yeah. And then, so Johnny, Eric, and Tara all in a row go in on Colton, and things start to shift around a little.
Yes.
Uh,
Um, well, and Kristen says, yeah, if we're holding Ron accountable, we have to also hold Colton
Kristen,
accountable.
too, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's like 4 of the 9 that are going in on Colton.
Yes.
He,
And
of
Kristen makes the
course,
point.
go ahead.
Well, Kristen just makes the point that like what the way Colton's playing the game is throwing names out, seeing what sticks, and then once something sticks a little bit, kind of like going from there and working backwards to get them voted out, which I thought was very well put.
I think that's just him thinking he's smart.
I think that's true.
Like, I don't think he's doing that intentionally. I think it's like everybody laying out stuff, but then him being like, yeah, that's all the reasons why, everyone.
Yeah, 100%. Um, and then Colton says, like, I'm just playing like reckless and bold, but I'm a faithful. And then Rob, out of nowhere, says, like, I believe you. And then we cut to Lisa and Candace looking mad.
Yeah. So this is where I'm like, I have to see how it plays out because I feel like he is playing bold and reckless now.
Yeah, a little bit for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially what he
well,
does later.
well, he explains his strategy later on, which is that because he has like alliances with Colton and Ron and has sort of defended them in the past, that it would have looked suspicious to vote for either of them and just like turn on them, which is like, sure.
Yeah. I, I mean, we can talk about that when we get there. I have more to say.
Okay.
But at the round table, Ron like essentially gives up, right? And he says like essentially like it's fine. Like the best thing that I can do for you now is for you to just know for sure what I am and go home.
Yeah.
And he like says his goodbyes to everybody except Dorinda, notably. And like compliments them. Natalie's like crying. And then you see Natalie and Tara both go like, it's not him. Like he's not a traitor. And then Tara brings it up to the group like, I could get murdered, but I don't believe it's Ron. And then Colton chimes in like, well, if you want somebody else to talk about.
Yes.
And he goes, how about Miss Lisa? Um,
Yes.
which is crazy because I think he obviously needs to get the sus off of him.
Yeah.
But now that everyone is off of Ron, it's going to bounce onto him. So he has like kind of no choice but to pull Lisa in, I think.
Yeah. I agree with that. Um, his main point against Lisa is that like housewives don't go against each other, so going after Portia was a traitorous like move.
Yeah, it kind of was. Like, I don't know how else you get around that.
Well, I think like Lisa makes an argument later on that she should have made at the round table, which is just that like that's completely unfair. A, there's 25, 24 people in the game. Um, B, everyone's different. And also, Lisa's not on The Real Housewives anymore. She hasn't been for like 3 or 4 years. And neither is Candace. So it's just like, it is unfair to just assume if anything happens and it's a fellow housewife, that just is like
Like,
not fair.
I think Natalie said it last episode, which was like on day one, she would never have said like vote a survivor player because on day one, that's all you have is like these loose ties, and that's
Yeah.
your advantage. So you wouldn't do that on day one. But then obviously Lisa's probably not operating at the same gamer tactic level as Natalie is. So I guess it's like you shouldn't hold Lisa to that, which feels condescending, sort of. But
But I think that Lisa
I
like
mean, they're
knows a
obviously
lot of
not
these.
wrong.
Yeah, but it's a difference because Natalie is mostly in Survivor World and is not out in reality TV land as much. Whereas like Lisa Rinna is still at BravoCon. She's like still meeting a lot of these people, I think, pretty often. Like I think she knew a lot of other people besides Housewives.
Yeah. I mean, I
I also
just do
think
feel
that
like
like
she should
Lisa
have thought
Rinna
about
is
how it looked.
yeah, but like Lisa Rinna is also famous and Natalie like in on a different level than Natalie. So people also know her. So I just don't agree.
I mean, Candace didn't vote Portia, did she?
No, she didn't. She stuck with Ron.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah. Um anyways, and then Candace points out how, we're going through the same pattern of like we have a name and then all of a sudden we're like shifting and someone else is getting voted out. Um And
which is
then
a smart
someone's,
thing to say.
yeah, no, it totally was. And then it's just pointed out that like Lisa is loud and it's kind of confusing that she's been quiet, which again, it's like taking who someone is on like Real Housewives and assuming they're going to act the same way on this show. And it is a different show, but you know,
Yeah.
it is certainly a piece of evidence.
I mean, but Colton also did ask Dorinda, like, is she normally like this? And Dorinda said no.
Yeah, but I don't think that she and Dorinda are like friends. I think she knows her from like being at BravoCon, Watch What Happens Live, like random little events. Not like I don't think they're like going on
Yeah,
week long trips together, you know.
that makes sense. Well, so after all of that, I think this makes everything super hard for the Traitors and, Rob especially. Like, you don't know how to vote in this situation. Like, the safest vote is Ron, but I think you don't know whether Ron's going to be voted for or Colton
Yeah.
or even Lisa. But Rob has famously said at that roundtable that he believes Colton and Ron are not traitors. So he's kind of backed into a wall now.
Yeah, I know totally. I mean, he has like well, he has obviously three choices. He has Lisa, Colton, and Ron. I think what he probably should have done was I think Colton would have been the better vote, but he has made it clear he's like got a big alliance with Colton. And we haven't quite seen why that is. Maybe there's something that we're missing there. But his smarter move would have been to vote for Ron earlier on, like not to go as hard in defense of Ron and vote for Ron. I think would have been the simpler move.
I think he's right. He's trying to play the long game here and show that he ride or dies for his friends.
Yeah.
It's
But
just, I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
I think the other part of it for him though is like he has to be careful because he's getting everything right too. You know what I mean? It's like it's gonna come out that or it came out that Ron is a faithful. It's gonna come out that Colton is a faithful. Um, it's gonna come out probably that Lisa is a traitor. And so like he's just getting everything right in a way that you only can if you're a traitor. So this is
Yeah,
where it's gonna be interesting.
that's possible too. I don't know how it's going to play out. I feel like he kind of screwed himself into having to vote Lisa. And then, in my opinion, it's stupid to like try to throw Lisa under because Candace is also there. It's like, I guess
Yeah.
I don't know how strong the Housewives tie is because they keep talking about it every episode.
Right.
But it's like, if you screw with Lisa, you still have Candace who's going to be pissed at you.
Right. No,
And she
totally.
already is pissed.
Well, and it's interesting because like in past seasons, some of the traders have like gone against each other, whatever, and it's been or there's been more fighting. These three have been in lockstep this whole season. Like there's been like no conflict.
Yeah. I mean, I do think once the trader's name gets mentioned, the only thing you can do is try to banish that person.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't murder them. And if it starts shifting towards Lisa, it's like Candace and Rob have to let her go.
Yeah.
I just
No,
feel like with
totally.
what was said at the table, Rob turned too early on her because it didn't seem clear that she was going to get enough votes. Like, if you're going to vote for a traitor like that, they have to go home.
No, I agree. You come for the king, you best not miss, they say.
Yeah. And then we almost get our first three-way tie,
Yeah,
which would have been a gag.
absolutely. I don't even know what you do in that situation.
I think everybody votes again. Like, I think they
They
get a little
probably,
chance to talk and then they vote again.
yeah, that makes sense.
And if it's still a tie, I think if they do a random of that, the tie
Yeah,
people.
yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, so it's time to vote. Everyone votes somewhat quickly. Rob cannot decide, and Alan is like, Rob, you have to decide right now.
Yeah.
And so we see him write a name, and we see that it's short. So we know he didn't vote for Colton. It's either Lisa or Ron. As you mentioned, it's almost a three-way tie. So Colton has 4 votes. Ron has 5 votes. Lisa has 4 votes. And then we need to see Rob and Mark's vote. So Rob votes for Lisa, which is dramatic. And it comes down to Mark. So if Mark votes for Colton, it would be 3-way tie. If Mark votes for Lisa, it would be Lisa going home. And if he votes for Ron, it's Ron going home. He votes for Ron. And Ron goes home.
It's like all that for this.
I know. Ron reveals he's faithful. It's kind of disappointing. Like, they weren't surprised, but it was what it was. I do think he needed to go. It just kept coming up and had to happen.
I don't know how you escape that situation because it's always like, yeah, you could buy yourself 1 or 2 more banishings, but they always end up going home.
Yeah. No, I just think like the lesson really is like you cannot be the person leading the charge on someone early on. Even if you're right, it's going to make you look suspicious.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him.
I feel bad for him too.
He did not have a fun time.
No, he didn't.
Seems like.
Well, not everything is for everyone, and maybe he realized reality TV is not for him.
True. But I do think it's for me.
Yes, definitely. So Alan comes back in. He announces there will be a beautiful banquet to celebrate the halfway point of the game. And we'll be celebrating life, the greatest gift of all. They're still at the round table, and Colton tells Lisa he will take himself down to get her out, which I'm finding it so intense.
He's being so over the top.
Yes. So the last thing said in the round table, which is foreshadowing, is Johnny says to everyone, nobody touch anything at the banquet. Which is funny because it probably is their dinner.
Yes.
It's like, girl, I gotta eat. Can you imagine going on Traitors, eating dinner, and you're just in confessional with like food stuck in your teeth?
Well, yes, I could.
Yeah, me too.
Me if I get cast on the Traitors. So where's the salmon?
Yes, absolutely. Do you eat salmon for breakfast? We didn't really ask you this question last week.
I will say I would prefer a bagel. I like, me, I like very plain, simple things. Like vanilla ice cream is my favorite flavor. I prefer just a bagel with cream cheese with nothing on it. Oh, nothing else on it. However, I have had it with salmon, and it's fine.
Fair enough. I like a bagel.
I would rather just eat the salmon separate and then the bagel.
I see. Got it.
Gotta get your protein in, mama.
Yeah, have you heard about protein? People are really liking it these days.
Well, I think the tides are turning, from all the lead.
Okay, so we leave the room. We cut to Candace in confessional saying, like, Rob, that was tight. 1 vote away. Even if you had a strategy, like, too close. I don't trust you now. Rob, like, runs to a room by himself. And he says, like, I stand by my moves, but I am not ready to see Lisa's face right now.
Yeah.
And then he goes, this is about to be real bad for Rob and Bobby. Which was funny. It gave me the ick this much.
Good. That's the right amount you should have.
I'll be back. And so then we cut to they're kind of in that like bar-ish room. Um, and they ask Lisa like just more about the where if they see where she's coming from in terms of like being suspicious that she went after a housewife. And she finally makes
Yeah.
the point we had earlier, which is that no, it's not fair. I'm a different person than that. I've been in the business 36 years, which is longer than Colton's been alive. And us.
True.
uh, um, and then Colton says, like, the traitors better take me out tonight because if not, I'm going to get every fucking shield, which, sure. Sure, Jan.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will get every shield.
It's just like, obviously a traitor could get a shield. It's not like they're immune to getting the shields.
Right. And you never know where they'll be. Also, it's like you're on a TV show. So if you say that, like, surely they're going to place them
Yeah,
somewhere that's harder
production's
for you to get
gonna.
at once. I know.
And we
Production's going
cannot
to
write
get you.
off how absolutely thirsty Jam Jam is for a shield.
Say that, which is so funny. Like, he's just not playing a chill game at all. And he is a faithful. You would just think he'd be like 10% toned down, given his survivor experience.
Maybe he's traumatized. He needs to know
Maybe.
he's going to be safe.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So they end up with Lisa and Candace in the kitchen, and Rob comes
Yes.
in, and uh, they're pissed, and they're openly talking about it in the kitchen, which I think is crazy.
Wait, you missed something.
Oh, sorry.
It was a weird episode for where the order they did things. So yeah, so we have that conversation with Lisa, and then it goes to the turret. So it goes to the
Oh,
turret.
yeah.
Alan presents them a cursed amulet. He says, like, one of you has to wear this to the banquet tonight, and the first faithful to touch it will die. They discuss who should wear it. They say to Rob, which is funny because, like, given that they were mad at him, they could have made him wear it.
No, this was from the night before.
Was it?
Yes, that's why it's a gag that Lisa volunteered, like not knowing all the heat was going to be on her the next day.
Did they say that or you just figured that out?
They said that.
Okay, well, Kipper missed it.
Okay, well,
That was real
next
bad.
time.
That was real bad for Kipper Whipper.
That's why I said in the turret before, what you see isn't always the truth, because we didn't get to see that, and now we did.
Okay, well, I missed that. Thank you for clocking to me.
So Lisa really stepped in doo-doo with that one.
Well, I think it's going to be okay because they all are wearing like crazy outfits, and it is logical she would wear like a fun piece of jewelry like that, and it makes sense. And I think it's pretty natural to be like, "Ooh, like I love your brooch," right? Because like Candace can say, "Oh, I fucking love it. Like, can I touch it?" And then she can say to like fill in the blank person next to them, "Oh my god, feel this. It's beautiful." Like maybe they'll
Yeah.
get Dorinda.
But do you want to know what I absolutely know is going to happen?
Yes.
Johnny's gay ass, who said nobody fucking touch anything. I don't know if you clocked this, but at the very end of the episode, when they're getting ready for bed, Johnny asks Linda, "What are you going to wear?" And she goes, "Oh, just you wait and see." So you
Who's
know his
Linda?
ass is going to be, sorry, Lisa. Okay, do
You're
you want
right.
to
I
know?
missed it.
Do you want to know something else funny? All
Yes.
episode they kept talking about Donna, and I was like, "Who is Donna?" I don't remember who is Donna. It's like there's no
Smelly pussy
Donna
Donna.
here.
Yes, I know. I forgot about her too. Because one of the arguments against Ron was that he defended Donna. And I was like, what? I was like, oh yeah, but that didn't count because she didn't count. She didn't
Yeah,
play well.
and they were like, "So and so could have voted for Donna but didn't," and I was like, "There's nobody named Donna here." And then
I know.
I did a little fast rewatch, and I saw her picture on the wall at breakfast, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
"Oh, Donna."
Yes, yes, yes. That is so fucking funny. And also because so last episode we talked about Ron being defended for being introverted. Apparently, like people watching clocked him as autistic and he got tested and now announced on his Instagram the other day that he actually is autistic. So that's kind of sad in terms of like how he was treated in the game and stuff. And it makes sense why he was defending Donna because she was very quiet and reserved. And I think
Yeah.
he empathized with that.
I
I
think
think he
that is a real
commiserated.
problem. Yes.
Well, kind of, sort of.
I do think that's going to be a real problem with the show, though, which is it's like people get voted out just for being a little different. And it's like,
Yeah.
that just is the strategy of all of these shows, which is like find someone and latch on to anything you can to get them out. And we're
Yeah.
finding out it's kind of a problematic situation more frequently than you would want it to be, which would be 0 times.
But it's interesting because it reflects like the truth of our society. Like we see dynamics like this play out in real life.
Yeah. But to your point of like these shows where it's like often a black or woman of color who goes out first and second or third, it's like we gotta figure this out.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So we leave the turret. Linda is going to wear the brooch, which is a beautiful brooch. I would touch it. And then we cut to the kitchen where Rob is in there, Candace is there, and then Lisa is there. So it's just the traitors. Um,
Yes.
Rob says, if I had turned on two people I publicly said I trusted, it would have been suspicious. And Candace throws like a cookie or something at Rob. It's so fucking funny.
So are you now clocking why there's no butter
Yes.
knives in there?
Oh my god, it's so funny. Make Candace mad, she'll throw something at you. That's hilarious.
She's getting so messy in there.
Yeah. It's
Literally.
such good TV though. It's such good TV.
Yeah. I think obviously they have a right to feel upset about it, but Rob says like it would have made me look bad, and then Candace says, "Yeah, it looks bad to us too," which like is true. But what he needs to remind them is that the only people that all three of them need to not look bad to are the faithfuls,
Right.
because they're the ones in on everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, if I was Lisa, I'm pissed, but like if you're truly trying to work together, you have to let it go.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Um and she survived the vote. Like, I think they need to move on from it, but like they should trust him less. But I think they have to keep working together. And there's nothing on him yet. So I think that like they have to, if they let it change their game, they're gonna look super suspicious at this point.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think Colton has to get banished because if he gets murdered, it's going to look really bad for Lisa.
Yeah, but I think like they'll know it's a murder in plain sight. And if it is Colton, then I think it'll be
He should
okay.
be staying away from them, right?
Yeah, well, that's what they say. They talk about it briefly. Rob says you should get someone who didn't vote for you, which is good advice, um, and is helpful. And the episode kind of ends there. We see them get dressed for the banquet. Colton looks an absolute mess. Um, And then we see like a little preview. You can't really tell what happens, but what I saw on Twitter was before the season and Alan was being interviewed, he talked about the banquet episode and said it was one of the craziest episodes they've ever had. So look forward to next week. We do see a couple people yell at each other and like run at each other. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think Colton's going to crack.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he's far away from it. It was a great episode, and I was nervous with them going from 3 to 1 a week, but like we just talked for an hour and 10 minutes about this one episode. It was so intense.
This is like, yeah, I feel like the storylines really are in full force now. And
Yeah.
like the drama is really there in a fun way.
Yeah. 100%.
Because it's not just like people fighting, it's like actual game changing situations, which
Yeah.
is what I love about a show like this.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's strategy focused. Like, it's all very interesting.
Yeah. I just will be so sad if somebody, if an innocent little lamb gets sent home, gets murdered.
Who would make you saddest?
I'm just telling you, it's gonna be Johnny.
It might be. It
Like,
might
who
be.
else would it
I
be?
don't want him to go home, but I won't be like upset.
I just want our sisters, some of them, to remain on the program.
Well, okay, I agree with that. I'm not trying to get rid of all the gays.
Just
But
one.
it's hard when like Colton is like a nightmare.
That's why Johnny needs to stay, so we can
I
see
know.
protect queer art, mama.
Okay, I agree with that. Um, anything else you want to say before I go eat?
Nothing of importance. Alan's orange hair was back. If you clocked,
Yes, I
I did see
did.
it this time.
Yeah, so funny.
I just am like really excited to see next episode because it did look very dramatic.
I agree.
So can't wait.
Yeah, great season. Keep watching and keep watching us.
And we'll see you next week with episode 7.
Bye.
Bye.